that an echoing horn? Okay, that's interesting. So Malamar on the right with an echoing horn, if I'm not mistaken. That is interesting. It is a rapid strike card. That means they're definitely playing boss, I would assume, as well. If they're playing the horn, they're probably playing boss. And then, yeah, Arceus, Inteleon, Bird Box on the left. And there's the Arceus start. Now, they did choose for the Malamar player to go first. It looks like it's just going to be a draw pass. And then over to Arceus. The first one. Paulo? Did I say Paolo? Paolo? Paolo versus Patricia. Energy search from Paolo. Has a DTE. I guess could have got the turn 1 knockout if they had like a Melanie play. But unlikely. They put the cape on their Arceus. So I don't like this play. And then Marnie. Okay, I don't like the cape. I don't think, because you're just not going to get KO'd. I don't know. I feel like there's just like better turns to do the cape. Like you can put the cape on like an actual basic Pokemon that's going to stay a basic Pokemon. There is a chance you get KO'd here. It's just really unlikely. So I'm not a huge fan of the cape there. I think you're just like playing inferior something that's like not going to happen. I don't know. I'd rather try and get more value out of it by putting it somewhere else, but maybe there's no better place to put it. That's also probably possible. There's possible there's no better place to put it. So it's not like terrible. It might actually be the correct play. But I look at it initially, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think I'm getting KO'd there. So I'm usually down to just like the, you know, if they have it, they have it. I'm like, all right, that's fine. Yo, appreciate that Prime sub there, Elements. Welcome to the Rat Pack, my dude. Fresh out of Skittles. We got plenty of graham crackers. So there was a Karina's Focus from Patricia, only finding a Sobble. Ideally, like what you want on your turn 1 is literally to fill your bench with Pokemon. So we didn't see that on the first turn from Patricia. And then now on this turn, we see the Karina's Focus over Keep Calling or a Brawly. So this is actually a really, really bad spot for Patricia. And I think that hesitation there tells Paolo that you should go KO the Sobble. I think the hesitation there from Patricia is just like basically telling them to go KO that Sobble. So I think if you can see a boss on the Sobble, you definitely do it here. And there's a level ball. So I would like to see, you could go to actually like set up so you have more plays to follow. I would actually grab Evolution Incense and and there's the concede. Okay. There's the concede. So switching it up now, and we'll have Malamar going second here almost certainly. Now this does mean that the Arceus player can still get like a turn 2 Arceus play off. Oh, good catch. They forgot the prize cards. The turn 2 play off. But it's also possible, like going first, you don't get to play a draw supporter. It's possible that they actually whiff the the knockout here, or not the knockout, the attachment, and like whiff a turn 2 attack as Paolo. So you get that kind of as like something that could potentially happen here. Just need to fix their deck. So that is something that can possibly happen, is that they just whiff it. They just whiff the knockout. And if they whiff the knockout, then you're chilling. The turn 2 knockout, then you're chilling as Malamar. But either way, if Malamar draws well, you're usually in a pretty good spot. Finally, someone knows when to concede. Yeah, it's good to see the concede there, because Malamar can take a while to win games, right? Especially like when you're like your opponent whiffs. That also means you just don't get to play your Cynthia's Ambition, and then sometimes you just whiff, right? So, it's definitely good to see them just like concede it and pack it up. Be like, all right, Malamar can take a while to win games sometimes, and if you just have one of those funky games, any matchup can end up funky where it just like lasts way longer than it does on average. Even if you end up winning it still, it could be like an extra 10 minutes of a game, right? Looks like we've got the Sobble and a Brawly start here, so, and a level ball I think I saw in there as well. So good options for sure. Let's see if the prize cards are pretty brutal for either player. Can we get that prize card peak real fast, producer? Quick shooting Inteleon actually is a big deal. Quick shooting is huge in this matchup, and that's like the only super relevant prize card I saw there. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It stinks to prize like that 4th Inkay. More so, instead of the Inkay, it actually hurts more to prize the rescue carrier. I think that hurts a little bit more than prizing an Inkay. But the biggest thing was that that quick shooting Inteleon. So the quick shooting Inteleon is super important because it allows you to actually take a double prize turn as the Arceus player. You can go quick shooting, net quick shooting, plus attack with the Inteleon and use Aqua Bullet. Or not Aqua Bullet. It might be Aqua Bullet. And then you KO that Malamar and the bench Inkay on the same turn. So that means on the turn before that, Patricia has to decide whether or not to bench a 3rd Inkay. And if you bench a 3rd Inkay, that's 1 less shady dealings the next turn or this or that. But that can also just win you the prize trade as the Arceus player as well. That can just win you the prize trade. Like, you can be going back and forth and you're just behind 1 prize card, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, draw 2 prize cards, I win the game. So that can be a pretty big deal. Patricia, though, does play that Echoing Horn, so if they can commit to the triple Inkay play and then can go like Echoing Horn boss, they can like take a pretty cheap 2 prize knockout potentially. So the Echoing Horn can come in clutch here potentially. That's like a super cute card to include there. The Echoing Horn. That's definitely interesting. I don't know if it's any good, to be honest. The chance that you get to pull off that play seems low, but if you do get to make it work, it's pretty good. And I wonder if there's like for a specific matchup or something where they like it in a specific situation. And maybe we'll get to see that in this. They definitely played the boss, though. We just saw the boss there. And then here comes the Brawly. Load up the bench. So this is the kind of turn you're looking for on the first turn as Malamar. And then I'm curious to see if they actually have a 5th bench Pokemon. Because you really want to fill your bench completely. I think they have a Level Ball and a Cynthia's Ambition. I could be wrong on that, though. They might actually have nothing else to work with here. Actually, they might have nothing else to work with here. I don't think they have anything else. The boss being in the hand this early on also kind of stinks. This is not when you want the boss in the hand. You want the boss in the deck until you need it. Until you go shady dealings for it or draw into it when you need it. So it's not great to have in the hand right now. So Rapture cards to the turn where you can't use it? Well, that's not 100% true. Like, it could be like... Usually the cards that people cut to add stuff like that is Karina's Focus. Whereas Karina's Focus is neutrally a good card to have because it's a draw supporter, right? Where that's not true for Echoing Horn, right? If you open up a hand and you're just like, I need an energy on this hand to use Keep Calling, and you have an Echoing Horn instead of a Karina's Focus, you're just like, well, I guess we'll have to wait till next turn, and then you pass. And then you lose because you couldn't keep calling, right? So I feel like that's the card that usually gets cut, is people start to dig into the Karina's Focus line first, which I think is correct. Like, it's the correct thing to start cutting to add other cards, especially stuff like the Echoing Horn, or like I personally, like, I've been trying out like a Choice Belt in my Malamar list, and I cut into Karina's Focus for that. But then you're not, when I draw my Choice Belt, I'm not drawing a Karina's Focus to just draw cards, right? So it can hurt. It can hurt. Once you set up, it doesn't really hurt, but you have to set up first. All right, Starbirth happening. I'm sure we'll see a DTE. We could see a boss KO. I didn't see if they played a draw supporter or not. They maybe played a draw supporter. Another Shady Dealings coming down. Like I said, you want to set up a lot of Inteleons. You want to try and get off that quick shooting play I mentioned. They probably only play 1 quick shooting Inteleon. He comes in a level ball, get another Sobble. They're probably just going to be comfortable with knocking out the active here. And you never want to actually set up 2 Arceus in this matchup. You want the 1 Arceus and that's it. And then from there you go into Moltres or Hoopas or Inteleons or literally anything else. But you actually don't want to set up any more Arceus. You don't want to set up any more Arceus. And this first Arceus knockout can be kind of tough for Malamar. We'll see if they get it or not. But this first knockout here can be tough. Especially with that 1 less Pokemon to work with on the bench for the future. We'll see if they can... Because that might... You can kind of end up in like a weird cycle with Malamar, where like you never are able to bench that extra Sobble or get the Remoraid back down into play. Once you whiff that first turn to fill your bench, you can get caught into a weird cycle with Malamar, where like every turn to get the knockout, you're just not able to bench any more Sobbles or Remoraids. And you just kind of get stuck in the cycle of next turn you attack and you can't do it and you can't do it and you can't do it. And you're never able to actually get to a full bench to get like the full maximum utility out of your potential Pokemon. It can open up opportunities for your opponent to chase certain lines of Pokemon like your Octillery or your Sobbles and stuff, and then really put you in a bad spot on the following turn as well. So, but they looks like they have a pretty good draw here, to be honest. They got the Octillery, they got the Malamar all before using the Ambition, and I saw Scoop Up Net in their hand. They just drew into a basic Psychic. The rest of the hand, they drew a Shady Dealings Inteleon though, and the Ordinary Rod, and they have the boss in hand. It's close. They might be able to get the KO. That Rescue Stretcher can become, or the Rescue Carrier can become a Rapid Strike Pokemon from the discard pile. They grabbed a Brawly, so it looks like they're content with attacking. I think they maybe have it here. I think they maybe have it. But, okay, maybe that wasn't the Shady Dealings Inteleon. I thought I saw the Inteleon, but it looks like it was maybe the Drizzile. See, that's the kind of like love I have to see. Paulo was like, no, you just benched that one. You have to evolve this one. Just making sure to keep the board state as correct as possible. Similar to how we saw Pedro earlier correct their opponent, make sure they picked their targets with what's it called. Yeah, she might have to scoop up at the artillery, which you just don't want to do as often as possible, because this opens up, like I said, this is going to open up opportunities for Paulo to start to boss chase stuff potentially. Well, I guess Paulo's board state isn't really set up to be able to boss chase anything next turn. So if you have to scoop up at the artillery here, it doesn't feel too bad. If Paulo had set up another Arceus, then you maybe would have been in trouble. But if Patricia has like really clean turns, then you definitely don't want to go Arceus to Arceus. You want to set up to use stuff like Moltres or maybe the Hoopa with a boss KO. But we could see Paulo go like boss KO the Drizzile with Hoopa potentially. But then it's a pretty easy return knockout for the Malamar, and that would be the turn where Patricia looks to kind of reset up the board state here. Grabs a Karina. From the way they're playing it, I would think they have the knockout here, but we'll see. They need 7 here. Well, no, it's like you definitely take the knockout if you can get it, but you can end up in one of those situations where you just like start to lose all of your support Pokemon. You definitely go for it if you have the knockout here. I think you should definitely take it. But you can definitely end up in one of those situations where you just kind of lose all your support Pokemon. Like we could see Paulo this next turn go into the Shady Dealings Inteleon, and maybe Patricia can't get the response knockout on that and stuff like that. So, there we go. Sobble to hand. Yeah, with the net, I think there's probably 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7 off the scoop up net. That should be 7. So if Paulo could have got the scoop up or the big charm there, that would have actually made the difference. I think the other 2 cards are like Ordinary Rod, and actually I don't know what the last card is. That's it. That's a knockout. Like I said, like the board state way less to work with, but Paulo didn't set up another Arceus, so the options here for Paulo aren't great. I think you maybe have to go with that. I think you maybe have to go with the Aqua Bullet here, which kind of stinks. You want to use the Aqua Bullet when you can set it up with your quick shooting, but your quick shooting's prized, so maybe you just don't get that option this game as Paulo. What is even the play now? There's the Hoopa. We could see the boss KO on the Drizzile though. Like I said, I do like that play, but you do have to set up for something bigger in the future. Like that can't be. You need more stuff on the following turns. You're gonna have to start to look for the Moltres, the baby Moltres at some point. Turn this into kind of a 1 prize game yourself. So it's going to be the Hoopa attack. So, I mean, as long as Patricia has like another Cynthia's Ambition, or if Patricia has a really good hand, because it is going to be a boss KO on the Drizzile, it looks like, Patricia could have like Brawly plus KO, and then that would be like optimal, for sure. It's the Dark Energy, and then I'm sure has the boss here. Hitting into a Malamar here would be terrible, unless they forgot about that Hoopa doesn't do weakness. Let's see. Here comes the Shady Dealings. From there, they have to look for... I feel like Paulo has to look for the Raihan play, though. I guess you go into a Baby Moltres on the next turn, though. Yeah, because then you'd have, like... You still need a little bit to work with, though. They are eyeing up the Clara. There's another Cape. There is the Cape. Ooh, the Cape on the Hoopa here. That needs 2 more Rapid Strike cards. The Cape here is pretty sick, actually. I actually really like the Cape here. See the Evolution Incense grab. I think maybe just going to go for the Shady Dealings Inteleon this turn, just to have that set up already, because they might not have another out to it in the current hand. Yeah, there we go. Shady Dealings, going for Cape, and then maybe the Raihan. Yeah, I think we might see the Raihan grabbed here. No, the Scoop Up Net. Okay, I think that looks fine as well. I think they have a boss in hand, so they should be able to go... Cape, Dark Energy. Okay, this makes a pretty beefy Pokemon with a pretty not set up board state here from Patricia. Goes for the Sobble instead of the Drizzile, so that's like a tough call to make for sure, because they can have way better plays through the Shady Dealings and Inteleon, but they have way more outs to Drizzile, so tough call to make here, I feel like, for Paulo. Once again, with the quick shooting Inteleon, that's a huge one. There's the KO. That's a beefy Hoopa. And the hand for Patricia does not look great, to be honest. Actually, no, but because the Malamar didn't get KO'd, they maybe have the KO in hand? No, they have the Cynthia's Ambition. Okay, okay. They have the Ambition. They had a Brawly play. Oh, they're going to go for the boss. Oof. Okay. So the last card in hand, I believe, is Ambition. They could have played Ambition here instead of the boss. I don't know if I like... I mean, I guess the KO off the Ambition... The KO off the Ambition is likely, though, right? Like, I feel like it is just likely to have to work to get the KO. So now they're trying to make the Ambition knockout work next turn, but they need so much more here from Patricia. I think I would have liked to see the Ambition last turn. I know you're not guaranteed a knockout, but you're likely to get a knockout, I feel like. Because now when you play Ambition, you need Energy and Malamar. I guess you get to play the Ordinary Rod at that point, but it doesn't really change anything. You need Energy, Malamar, Inkay, and then also 1, 2, 3, 4 Rapid Strike cards as well. Now I think you should definitely, as Paolo, you should definitely KO the Malamar instead of doing like another boss play here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. KO off Ambition wasn't... Oh, wait, actually, yeah, maybe the KO off Ambition wasn't possible. You might be right, actually, because there wasn't enough... You actually might be right. Because they had the boss and the what's it called in the hand, right? So maybe you're right. Maybe do hold the Ambition for the turn. You had boss and Ordinary Rod in hand, right? So you didn't have enough... You probably could... The chance of you drawing enough Rapid Strike cards just probably wasn't enough, right? Yeah, okay. Maybe the boss play is just a better way to go then. Yeah, I think you're right, actually. That's true. That's true. We still Patricia does need a lot next turn, though. They still need a lot, but I guess they need a lot one way or the other, right? They needed... And they probably need a little bit more the previous turn than this next turn. So it makes sense. It makes sense. All right, Air Balloon and Research... Or not Research. It was a Training Court, I think, actually. Giving Training Court to Malamar is not something you want to do, though. So I don't like doing it. I don't know if they had to do it, though, on Paolo's side. But you definitely don't want to do it. And they got the boss on the Sobble again, so just kind of repeating the process here. Which I think is probably correct to chase Sobble this turn because of what happened last turn. Get themselves a Fog Crystal off the prize cards, I believe. No, that would be the other side. I actually don't know what they got off the prize cards there. All right, here we go. Evolution Incense. But I'm not sure what Patricia's looking for here. Gets the Shady Dealings Intelligent, but I'm pretty sure there's a... Well, maybe there's not a Cynthia's Ambition in the hand. I thought there was. Maybe there wasn't the whole time. Well, I just saw the hand right there. It didn't look... Okay, they didn't have a Cynthia's Ambition the whole time. Never mind. I'm just trolling. I thought there was a Cynthia's Ambition. I don't think you want Scoop Up Net here, though. You should probably, like, level ball for Remoraid. Or Sobble or something. Yeah, I like that a little bit more. But I think you should go in with the level ball right now. And just get the extra cards set up. Yeah. Alright, they want to stop and think, I think. No, I think they might just end up holding the level ball. I think you should just probably play it, though, right? You just want that extra card off the Ambition. It does guarantee you have a level ball to find, like, a Rapid Strike card. They're going to play the Ordinary Rod as well. Maybe... Oh, they're going to Rod first, I think, here. No, they're just going to Ambition... Wait, don't they have Ordinary Rod in hand? I could be tripping. At this point, you should just Rod in the Sobbles, though. Like, you don't need Malamar pieces anymore. Yes, okay. Or Sobble, I should say, actually, because they've got Rescue Carrier the turn before as well. I mean, I think you should just play the level ball here. I don't think holding the level ball... I don't think holding the level ball leads to any, like, higher statistical outcome of getting the knockout. So, level ball for Remoraid or Sobble here makes the most sense. I think the other card in the hand was the Fog Crystal. And I think maybe you just Fog Crystal for the basic energy and put it on the Inkay as well. They'll probably still walk away with the knockout here, but I think there was definitely... No, maybe you can hold the Fog... No, I think I would still play the Fog Crystal as well. You just need to set up for the future as much as possible. Yeah. I think they got the knockout here, but... It could have been like +1 card in play, right? They're holding the level ball because they need to be able to find a Drizzile. But this is one of those... This is kind of that cycle I was talking about where every single turn you're struggling to keep up because your board state is like not that good. So like this is just barely enough to keep Patricia in the game, right? You knock out this Hoopa, but then next turn you have Drizzile into Ambition and Prey, and you don't feel like you have like a comfortable setup here. So every turn here for Patricia is going to be like a nail biter, to be honest. So here we go, another one. Did Paolo take an extra prize card last turn? On the graphic it says 3, but the camera only showed 2. No, they're just like not keeping up with the what's it called super well. All right, so here comes the Inteleon attack. Yeah, you should, you need to reestablish a better board state here from Patricia. That's why you should like definitely just play the level ball ahead of time. You should hope you find the thing. Paolo chasing Sobble here, I actually also don't dislike if they have the ability to. I think chasing Sobble here, running them out of Sobble, is just a pretty good play. Like, you're just limiting your opponent's options by a ton there. So if Paolo has the option to KO the Sobble here, I would go for it. Like, it might not stop them from getting the knockout next turn, but you don't know if they have an Ambition in hand or an Out to Drizzile. Like, now you know for sure they have to have the Ambition in hand. But if you KO the Malamar here, they could have Ambition in hand, or they could have Ambition in hand, or they could have an Out to Drizzile, right? So you kind of limit their options there. I also think they should try and set up an Arceus here, because we've seen the boss from Patricia now. So I would go for trying to set up an Arceus at this point if you can, because you should just assume they don't play multiple boss. Like, being afraid of them playing multiple boss, I think, is just like, you're just like digging yourself a hole. So that way you have the option to go to something big towards the end of the game, which is the Arceus, and go from there. I also think, yeah, there's the Arceus. Love to see it. I also think Paolo probably doesn't play Big Charm, actually. I know I mentioned Big Charm at the beginning of the game, but I'm pretty sure they just don't play Big Charm because they're playing like the less Arceus, more birds build. I'm pretty sure they grab the water energy there. So they don't get the boss here because they are going with the Raihan, but it's still reasonable to take this knockout like this. Got a quick ball, giving up the Zapdos. Definitely not very good. Gets the Sobble. Okay, has the option of Shady Dealings next turn. Yeah, putting the trading card in play was definitely... I think they maybe had to. I'm not sure, to be honest. They maybe had to. Knockout 20. I think you put the 20 on the Inteleon. That way you could knock their Inteleon out with your Inteleon. It almost just doesn't matter. Putting on the Inkay seems... I mean, they're just going to evolve that to a Malamar. I just don't think... Still whiffs the quick shooting. So still isn't able to set up that quick shooting play. Oh, here we go. Level ball from Patricia. We're going to see the Drizzile. We're going to see the grab of the Ambition. But Patricia has to draw super well off of this Ambition. This is what I was talking about beforehand. You got to try and establish your board as much as possible, as soon as possible. Otherwise, you end up in this cycle where you constantly have this board where you're literally like preying off of your... Double Fall Crystal here is pretty good. You're constantly preying off of your Ambition, basic. But this hand's pretty good. So that is true, I guess, Grant. Yeah, depending on hand, hitting Inkay is good because DTE power edge on Malamar. You're not wrong, yeah. All right, Fall Crystal. Hopefully the second basic energy is in there. There we go. It's in there. Okay. So pretty clean hand so far. And I think we might see an Ambition for 8 here. We'll see. I don't know what that last card in the hand is. It's a scoop up net? No, it's a... I don't know what that last card is, actually. All right, Ambition for 7. There we go. Needs Malamar. Needs 4 Rapid Strike cards. And then ideally to set up the board state a little bit better. Oh, there is no Malamar in that hand, I don't think. Yep. All right. I think that is game... No, that would be a 2-0, actually. I thought Patricia won a game in there. Yeah, but I think there was a couple mistakes here from Patricia, like not trying to establish... You got to, like, this is what happens. Like, you just don't have a board state that is set up. And it kind of just, like, it was the cycle. That's what I was talking about. You get caught in a cycle as Malamar where you just are constantly behind. You're just constantly behind. And then you end up in a situation like this where you just whiff an attack because your board state isn't as established. That's why you need to try like more Sobbles, the artillery ideally in play, more Sobbles in play, like everything. You just need more. You need more. As much as possible while still trying to take knockouts on tempo. But that goes back to like Patricia not playing that level ball, right? Like if Patricia had played that level ball, got something else down, was able to develop an artillery or just get another Drizzile out. Like a Drizzile here finds Malamar, which maybe gets the knockout, right? And then Patricia just needs that last turn to potentially get the game. But now over to Paulo. Paulo actually needs to take this knockout on the Centellion, which could be tough actually. They've used 2 boss. Paulo has used 2 boss. So it's possible Paulo actually can't get a KO here unless they want to use Arceus. But then if you use Arceus, you end up in a situation where all of a sudden Patricia can win the game by knocking out Arceus on the next turn. Oh, I guess we could see Baby Moltres though here from Paulo. We could see Baby Moltres. I think that's what they're lining up here. I think they're checking for the Baby Moltres play. They maybe just don't quite have it, though. I see the ultra... No, they should have it here, because they can retreat the... Well, now you can't get the dark energy off the Inteleon. Uh-oh. I think they asked... I think... They touched the air balloon after. I think they asked to take that back. I think they asked to take that back. What? Is that game? Was that... Didn't Apollo have 2 prize cards left, or was it 1? No, they had 2. Did Patricia just concede for no reason there? I think Patricia just ended up conceding for no reason there. I think they still had a turn where they could have won. You hate to see it.